What if I told you that 95% of who you are by the time you reach 35 years old is nothing more than a set of memorized behaviors, emotional reactions, unconscious habits, and hardwired beliefs? Think about that for a moment. 95%. This means that when you wake up in the morning and decide, with your conscious mind, that you want to be happy, healthy, or successful, you are operating with only 5% of your total brain power. The other 95% is a subconscious program running in the opposite direction, screaming, "No, this is who we are. This is how we suffer. This is how we survive." Most people spend their entire lives trying to create a new reality using the exact same personality that created their current problems. But Dr. Joe Dispenza, a neuroscientist, chiropractor, and pioneer in epigenetics, brings a groundbreaking, hard-hitting truth: you cannot create a new future while your mind and body are anchored in the past. To change your life, you have to literally break the habit of being yourself. Welcome to this comprehensive, deep dive masterclass on Dr. Joe Dispenza's transformative masterpiece. Today, we aren't just summarizing a book, we are breaking down the exact science, the quantum physics, and the step-by-step meditative formula to completely rewire your brain, reprogram your genetic expression, and step into a reality of your own choosing. If you are tired of repeating the same year, the same relationship struggles, and the same financial scarcity over and over again, pay close attention. By the end of this audio, you will understand exactly how to lose your mind and create a new one. Let's dive into the science of transformation. Chapter 1: The Quantum You, Bridging Science and Subjectivity. To understand how to change your life, we must first dismantle the old, outdated model of reality. For centuries, Newtonian physics told us that the universe is a giant mechanical clock, completely predictable, and that matter is separate from mind. In that old model, you are a victim of your environment. Things happen to you, and you must react to them. But quantum physics completely shattered this illusion. Quantum scientists discovered that atoms, the fundamental building blocks of everything in the universe, are not solid little billiard balls. Instead, they are made of 99.99999% empty space. They are pure energy. Even more mind-blowing is the observer effect. In quantum experiments, scientists noticed that subatomic particles exist in an infinite array of possibilities or probabilities until an observer focuses their attention on them. The moment the observer looks, the invisible wave of energy collapses into a physical particle. The core quantum truth: matter cannot exist without consciousness. Your mind literally collapses the infinite possibilities of the quantum field into the physical experiences of your life. What does this mean for you? The quantum field doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to who you are. It is a giant electromagnetic mirror. Every time you think a thought, your brain fires an electrical signal. Every time you feel an emotion, you generate a magnetic charge. Thoughts are the electrical charge to the quantum field. Feelings are the magnetic charge to the quantum field. Feelings are the magnetic charge to the quantum field. How you think and how you feel creates an electromagnetic signature that broadcasts to every atom in existence. If you wake up every morning feeling frustrated, anxious, or unworthy, you are broadcasting a magnetic charge of lack into the universe. Consequently, the quantum field has no choice but to reflect back into your life more circumstances that match your frustration, anxiety, and unworthiness. You are literally creating your own misfortune by default, and then wondering why your life won't change. To change your reality, you must broadcast a completely new electromagnetic signature. You must match the energy of your desired future before it physically manifests. Chapter 2: The Biological Loop of Thinking and Feeling. Now, let's look at how this plays out inside your biology. Dr. Joe Dispenza explains that your brain is a record of the past. It is an artifact of everything you have learned and experienced up to this point in your life. Every time you have a thought, your brain manufactures chemicals. These chemicals are called neurotransmitters and neuropeptides. They act as chemical messengers that signal your body to feel exactly the way you were just thinking. Let's map out the vicious cycle that keeps millions of people stuck. You wake up and remember a problem, perhaps a mountain of debt or a difficult boss. That single thought triggers your brain to release stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Your body receives these chemicals and starts to feel anxious, restricted, or angry. Your brain monitors your body. It detects the anxiety and reasons, the body is feeling anxious, so I must think more anxious thoughts to justify this feeling. You think more anxious thoughts, which releases more chemicals, creating an even stronger feeling. This loop between thinking and feeling creates what Dr. Joe calls a state of being. When you repeat this loop for years, a dangerous biological shift happens. Your body becomes the mind. Because the body doesn't know the difference between an actual physical experience and an emotion generated by thought alone, it believes it is living in the same traumatic or stressful event 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Eventually, the body becomes addicted to these familiar emotional states. It craves its daily dose of cortisol, its daily hit of drama, or its familiar rush of self-pity. This is why breaking a bad habit or trying to think positively is so incredibly difficult. Your conscious mind wants abundance, but your chemical-dependent body is screaming for its fix of lack. You have literally become addicted to being yourself. Chapter 3: Overcoming the Three Big Tyrants: Environment, Body, and Time. To break free from this self-imposed prison, Dr. Joe states that you must become greater than the three things that control your daily existence: your environment, your body, and time. 1. Overcoming the environment. Most people wake up and immediately react to their external world. They check their smartphone, look at Instagram, get frustrated by an email, brush their teeth exactly the same way, drive the same route to work, and see the same people. Their external environment is completely controlling their internal world. They are living by cause and effect. To change, you must be greater than your environment. You must hold an internal vision of your future that is more real to you than the physical reality right in front of your eyes. 2. Overcoming the body. Your body loves comfort and predictability. When you sit down to meditate or try to change a habit, your body will start to complain. It will make your back ache, your nose itch, or whisper thoughts like, "You can start tomorrow, this isn't working," or "You have too much to do." This is the body trying to wrestle control back from the mind. It wants to go back to its familiar, automated routine. When you master the body, you sit it down and command it to be still. You tell the body, "I am the mind, you are the animal. Sit down, I am in charge now." 3. Overcoming time. Human beings spend almost all their mental energy in two places: the past or the future. We remember past pains and project them onto our future, expecting the worst to happen again. This keeps us trapped in a predictable, linear timeline. The only place where true creation can occur is in the generous present moment. When you sit in meditation and completely detach from your past identity, your name, your gender, your profession, and your schedule, you enter the sweet spot of the present moment. In this space, you become no body, no thing, nowhere, in no time. This is the exact moment you enter the quantum field as pure consciousness. Chapter 4: The Neuroplasticity and Epigenetics Revolution. For decades, mainstream science believed that the brain you were born with was the brain you were stuck with for life, and that your genes dictated your medical destiny. Dr. Joe Dispenza completely flips this script using two powerful fields of science, neuroplasticity and epigenetics. Neuroplasticity, rewiring the hardware. Your brain is made of billions of neurons connected in complex networks. As the famous neurological law states, neurons that fire together wire together. If you think the same negative thoughts every day, you reinforce the same neural pathways, making those thoughts completely automatic. However, the opposite is also true. Neurons that no longer fire together no longer wire together. When you consciously stop reacting to your environment and interrupt your old thoughts, those old pathways begin to prune away. Through mental rehearsal, the act of vividly imagining your new future with closed eyes, your brain cannot tell the difference between the imagination and the physical reality. You can actually install the neurological hardware of your future self before it happens. Epigenetics, signaling the gene ahead of the environment. Your genes are not your destiny, they are a library of potentials. Think of your DNA as a giant blueprint with millions of switches. What flips those switches on or off? The environment and your emotional states. When you live in chronic stress, you send a chemical signal to your cells that turns on genes for disease, inflammation, and accelerated aging. But when you elevate your emotional state, cultivating feelings of absolute gratitude, joy, and freedom before your external conditions change, you signal the gene ahead of the environment. You change your internal biology. You begin to express new genes that manufacture healthier proteins, stronger immune responses, and a completely upgraded physical body. You literally become a new genetic person. Chapter 5: The 4-Step Practical Formula for Personal Transformation. Knowing the science is worthless unless you apply it. Dr. Joe Dispenza outlines a highly practical, meditative process designed to move you from your old self to your new self. This isn't just passive visualization, it is an active surgical extraction of old programming. Let's break down the core phases of this transformational process. Step 1: Induction and becoming aware. The first step is to change your brainwave state. Most of the day, you live in high beta brainwaves, a state of high analytical thinking, alertness, and often, stress. In high beta, the door between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind is slammed shut. To reprogram the subconscious, you must slow your brainwaves down into alpha and theta states. You do this by shifting your focus away from physical objects and instead focusing on open space, the space your body occupies in the room, and the space between your eyes, your throat, or your heart. By focusing on nothing, your analytical mind relaxes, your brainwaves synchronize, and you enter the operating system where real change happens. Step 2: Recognition, admission, and declaration. Once you are in a deeply relaxed state, you must turn the spotlight of awareness onto your old self. You become a detached observer of your own mind. Recognize, identify the exact emotion that rules your life. Is it unworthiness? Fear? Resentment? Guilt? Watch the thoughts associated with that emotion without judging them. Admit to yourself and to the higher intelligence within you who you have been hiding behind your external mask. Declare, out loud or deeply within your mind, release this emotional energy from your body, giving it up to the quantum field to be recycled into pure potential. Step 3. Surrendering and observation. In this phase, you actively decide who you no longer want to be. You look at your old behaviors and declare, I will no longer let this thought pass through my awareness unexamined. You mentally play out scenarios where you used to get angry or insecure, and you consciously practice hitting the pause button. You redirect that energy. You refuse to let your body control your mind. Step 4. Creation and rehearsal. This is where the magic happens. You now ask yourself the ultimate question. What is the highest ideal of myself that I can be today? You begin to mentally rehearse your new life. How does your new self walk? How do they speak? How do they handle challenges? Crucially, you must feel the elevated emotion of that future self. Do not wait for wealth to feel abundant. Do not wait for healing to feel whole. Do not wait for a relationship to feel loved. Feel it now. When you combine a clear intentional thought with an elevated emotional feeling, you change your personal electromagnetic signature. You are no longer tracking your past, you are magnetically pulling your new future toward you. Warning sign #Chapter 6, Navigating the Void and the Danger of the Familiar. One of the most profound warnings Dr. Joe gives in Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself is the phenomenon of the void. When you actively stop thinking your old thoughts and feeling your old emotions, there is a period of transition. You have stepped out of your old, miserable but predictable past, but your bright new future has not manifested yet. You are standing in no man's land. Dr. Joe calls this the void or the place of the unknown. This is the exact moment where 90% of people fail and give up. Because the human brain is wired to fear the unknown, the body begins to panic. It says, "Wait a minute. It's cold and dark out here. We don't know what's going to happen next. I'd rather feel guilty, angry, or unworthy because at least that familiar pain is safe and predictable." The moment you listen to that voice, you step back into your old reality. You return to your old self. To successfully break the habit of being yourself, you must learn to fall in love with the unknown. You must realize that the unknown is the only place where true creation can exist. If everything in your life is predictable, you are living in the past. The void is not a place of emptiness, it is a place where all potentials exist simultaneously. When you feel comfortable in the unknown, you become completely limitless. Chapter 7, The Physics of Miracles, Coherence and the Heart. To truly understand how this mental shift alters physical matter, we must examine the concepts of brain coherence and heart coherence. When you are stressed, anxious, or trying to force things to happen in your life, your brain is incoherent. Different sectors of your brain are firing completely out of sync, like an orchestra where every musician is playing a different song. When your brain is incoherent, you cannot create. You send out a chaotic, weak signal into the quantum field. However, when you focus on elevated emotions such as gratitude, appreciation, and compassion during your meditation, your heart begins to beat in a highly rhythmic, orderly fashion. This is known as heart coherence. Your heart possesses its own network of neurons, and when it becomes coherent, it generates a massive magnetic field that can extend up to several feet outside your body. This magnetic field acts as an amplifier. It takes the clear, intentional thoughts of your coherent brain and broadcasts them with immense power into the quantum field. When your brain and heart work together in perfect harmony, you become an absolute powerhouse of creation. You no longer have to run after what you want. You don't have to chase success, love, or health. Instead, you act as a powerful cosmic magnet, drawing synchronicity, serendipity, and miraculous coincidences directly to your doorstep. Sunrise conclusion: becoming the architect of your destiny. We have journeyed through the depths of quantum physics, the biology of addiction, the rewiring of your brain, and the spiritual formula for true liberation. But now, the book must close, and your actual practice must begin. Remember this fundamental truth: your environment will always try to trick you into believing that your old reality is the only reality. Your body will always beg you to return to its familiar chemical addictions of fear, worry, and lack. But you are not your body. You are not your past. You are the conscious architect behind it all. Every single morning when you open your eyes, you are presented with a definitive choice. Will you allow your memorized past to dictate your day? Or will you close your eyes, quiet your mind, and deliberately design a magnificent new future from the quantum field of infinite potentials? Do not wait for a crisis, a tragedy, or a terminal diagnosis to force you to change. Break the habit of being yourself today. Lose your old mind, create a brilliant new one, and step boldly into the unknown. Your new life is waiting for you to claim it.